I'm here with Tim Young, VMware's Vice President of Social Enterprise. Tim, congratulations on being acquired, and thanks for speaking with us today.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
So, is it accurate to call Socialcast Facebook for the enterprise?
I mean, I think, calling it Facebook for the enterprise is a good kind of initial framework for thinking about the product. It has many similarities in terms of it's really a utility for connecting people together. The main difference is that, Socialcast, when deployed inside of enterprises, is really situated to be in the context of work, whereas Facebook or Twitter are obviously, built for our personal life. So a lot of the features and functionality are really supporting, improvements in business performance and outcomes, and obviously a focus on knowledge worker productivity.
Let's talk about Socialcast and how it's used in the workplace on a daily basis. Can you give some real-world examples?
Yeah, one of the biggest benefits, that people have is really this concept of narrating your work. And so, instead of having, day after day, hour after hour, sitting inside of meetings where those are primarily built for kind of clarifying a status and priorities, essentially now with Socialcast, you kind of have this peripheral vision system where if you're constantly in an easy way telling people what you're working on, what challenges you're faced with, you're getting those updates from everybody else that you're connected to. And so you have this reduction in meetings because you're kind of constantly interacting with everyone.
And what's the new product? I think it's in beta only. It's called Strides. How does Strides fit into the Socialcast platform?
Yeah, so Strides is a product that we just released under beta just a week ago, and we're really excited about it. But the idea is, how can we help people work together specifically around kind of tasks collaboratively and kind of lightweight projects. And so we're taking some of the core concepts that have been really effective inside of Socialcast, this concept of kind of a news feed, the concept of kind of connecting together with people across the enterprise, and bringing that kind of under a very structured experience that's driven around kind of tasks and project workflow, but in kind of a really fun way. And you can find out more about that product if you go to strides.do.
It seems as useful as Socialcast may be, it's somewhat far afield from VMware's core mission of virtualization. I mean, how do these two ideas go hand in hand, social networking in the enterprise and virtualization?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question. When we think about kind of competitive companies of the future, we think they have, two key resources. And one of those is computing power. And today you see that driven by big data and cloud and mobile. And their other key resource is really human capital, their employees. And so kind of for the first decade of VMware's history, we focused as a company really helping you unlock the power and the potential of that resource, which is computing. And so as the company looks to grow and offer more value to customers, we want to bring those same best practices that we did in computing to actually the human capital side. And kind of given today's overall economic environment, companies could really use kind of a booster shot in terms of knowledge worker productivity.
To be sure, companies struggle with the idea of collaboration in the workplace. And what are some of the key challenges here, and how does Socialcast address them?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you critically look at kind of knowledge management over the last couple decades, you'll see, kind of wave after wave of software products and concepts. Whether it's traditional KM, it's communities of practice, it's e-groups. And what you find is that all of those kind of implementations and solutions created, a separate place for employees to collaborate. And the Socialcast approach is actually inverted of that. Employees are already existing in, their Outlook, their email systems, in their other kind of mission critical business back office applications. And so rather than creating a new third place for them to try to recreate collaborative context, we want to embed Socialcast in those existing applications so that we're marrying their natural workflow and habits that they need to do to get their job done with this kind of additional social collaborative layer. And really that is kind of, the primary benefit of a tool like Socialcast.
Great, Tim. Thanks for speaking with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.